Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the pre-market outlook discussion. Today is the 8th January 2026. The market activity for the day we can expect within a smaller range without having any bigger actions and without giving any breakout or breakdown kind of actions. Even though it is giving breakdown or breakout, that may not be having an extensive way of movement on the either side. So, which means what? The consolidation kind of action with a minor volatility there, here and there can be expected for the day is the prediction. But before that, based on the yesterday's one, what we can observe means yesterday also the way what we have discussed or described the market's movement today. The yesterday was witnessed in the way of a range bound actions with a sectoral shifts that helped the market in a higher way, particularly from the IT and pharmaceuticals like defensives, as we mentioned yesterday. See, we have forecasted that defensives will play well, like the yesterday's momentum was the proof for our prediction based on the behavior we are doing. And say, for example, for the IT, we have predicted the Tata Elxsi, Coforge, LTIM, Tech Mahindra. In all the way, the major IT companies played well. In Tata Elxsi, we also recommended an option call that got phenomenal return, almost 10% up in the cash segment it has done, but based on our recommendation on the option side also got perfectly comfortably achieved. On the pharmaceutical side, earlier day itself, the day before yesterday itself, we have recommended Torrent Pharmaceuticals, Sun Pharma kind of stocks, predicting that the pharmaceutical will do good. As predicted, yesterday pharmaceutical sector as a whole done well, and our prediction of Sun Pharma and Torrent Pharma also got achieved based on the targets provided. And see, that same kind of action can be continued, particularly from the pharmaceutical oriented. One can watch out for the long positions later. And from the IT also, from the long perspective, one can approach the IT related stocks. And these are all the important things we have observed based on yesterday's behavior of the market. And today, the opening trend may be in a neutral, in a subdued manner, aligning with the global ones, which are all having neutral based, but the sluggish movement around. So that can be for the opening trend only. But in the way of approaching the rest of the day's movement, one can actually follow the levels and then implement the strategy. The level would be 26,200 level should be get broken. Otherwise, it may not have a chance for moving up further. So as long as it is trading below the 26,200 point, with a support of 26,050, one can approach the market in a long build-up way. But anyway, the long build-up is slightly having the opportunity lower than the higher, that means a short build-up way, which are having higher chances for giving a short kind of activities or a short kind of trading decisions, because the 26,050 once gets broken means where you can see the trend downward drifting would be happening towards the level of 25,900 to 950 at least. So that 25,900 from the current level means almost 200 points we can see, which is what we have mentioned about the higher chances for downward drift is there for the market today than the upside lift can be a slight chances for that upside lift and all. So these and all the strategies one can follow. So it is very simple. Today also it is better to avoid trading, or at least risk takers moderately can participate on the Nifty, Bank Nifty, Sensex kind of index based options, because of the lack of movement on the either side, lack of decision, that means direction it is having on the decision making. So these are all actually making the benchmark index along with some major like Bank Nifty and all to move within a specified range without giving a chance for any side breakout or breakdown. If it is happening, so it is better to ignore trading on futures and option side of the benchmark indexes along with the Bank Nifty also, because it may erode the premium of your both side option if you are taking. So until otherwise getting a clear direction based on the levels we have mentioned here, the breakout or breakdown should be there to take a decision on which direction you can follow on the index oriented options and futures. But you can be a selective on stocks oriented trading actions, because the stocks from these sectors we have mentioned already, starting with IT, pharma, automobile, oil and gas, energy, realty. These sectors will be primarily moving the markets. So if you want to take a trade, you can see the Tata Elxsi and Infosys kind of stocks under IT. Pharmaceuticals means Sun Pharma is still having the chance, and Torrent Pharmaceutical, Gland Pharma, like these stocks can be focused. And automobile means Eicher Motors, and from the long perspective, Eicher Motor, Mahindra only slightly having chance. More than that, the short chances are also actually cooking there for some stocks in the automobile sector, including Maruti Suzuki, like the stock. Oil and gas and energy togetherly, we can say the Reliance Industries would be cooking well. And more than that, if you want to look out, gas oriented stocks can be look out. And the realty space, which is not having a clear direction yet, like the Nifty and Sensex are having. So the realty may be approached in a way of mixed kind. The Phoenix Mills, Prestige Estates, these stocks are having some selling pressure. If it is cutting the yesterday's low, you can see the stocks will be moving downward at least by 1%. Apart from these discussions, specifically based on the news and based on the technical behavior, we have listed some stocks here, including Tata Steel, Infosys, Angel One, because Angel One is mulling to announce the face value split as well as the dividend in the same date. That will be announced later, but the announcement about the decision making on these particular two corporate actions have been discussed and published. So that may be focused in a higher way. And Titan company based on technical, and Shipla also based on technical, Hadco Limited based on news, and Gland Pharma also. So these are all the stocks one can follow for making a good and enhanced trading activities, for particularly for the day. Amongst the stocks we have mentioned already under the every sector. From the positional perspective, the trend still actually maintained under the positive note. And for the total January to next February, until the Nifty can be measured in the way of 25,700, as we have discussed many times. As long as it is holding this particular level on the daily closing basis, one can keep apply buy and dip strategy and utilize the bounces towards 26,000, 26,100, 200, wherever it is giving, to book your profit. So positionally, we are still bullish on Nifty and Sensex. So that's it from today's pre-market discussion we can have. Don't forget to keep the stop loss, because stop loss decision is very, very important to make and enjoy the good risk and reward ratio. Thank you for participating in today's session. So we will be meeting in tomorrow's one. Until then, we wish everyone to have a successful and joyful trading day. Thank you.